Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Well, Mayor, are you excited to be here with us today?
Oh, it's a wonderful day. We've been looking forward to this. Had a chance to start working with Deshaun and his team back in the summer with some early meetings. Very fortunate to feel the importance of Benton being chosen for such a very important statewide event. And I know Deshaun and his team have worked very hard to get it here, and we're pleased to have you here this morning.
Wonderful.
Sitting here waiting for unity, love, peace, and tranquility. But no one here wants the responsibility. 'Cause freedom is for us all. How can we have liberty when the babies you can't guarantee?
Again to our town. Many of us in the 1960s remembered some very tragic days. John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther. I can tell you as a person of the 60s, where the 60s had an influence, it made a mark. There was many unstable days and worrisome days about what was happening to our country. Fortunately for all of us, each one of those individuals gave and stood for something that ultimately did something better. And that's one of those things we're able to celebrate today, is one of the things that came out of the loss of Dr. Martin Luther King. So on behalf of the City of Benton, it is certainly my distinct honor to welcome all of you to the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, everyone in attendance today to our beautiful city, our beautiful new event center, for a day of service. Although the City of Benton is over 30,000 citizens now, we still maintain and try very hard to be a small town atmosphere where most people know your name, and sometimes you wish they didn't. We're truly a community that is a family and family-focused and giving, minded in the true Southern tradition, because we are a city with a heart, and we're happy and proud of it. And today we will remember the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King by not only the performances and presentations that will take place, but also by the community service efforts that will take place later today. It warms my heart to see what can be accomplished when we all come together in the spirit of benevolence and goodwill and fellowship. I'd like to take this time to thank everyone who helped to make the event possible, and those in attendance today for assisting us in continuing the legacy of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who once said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you going to do for others?" As your host city, I'm very pleased to present the proclamation, which has already been read at our city council meeting, into the record, so I won't read it again. And I'll close with these words, which have always meant very much to me, and when I had an opportunity 2 years ago to speak at this event. I'd like to quote Mr. Fred Rogers from the Mr. Rogers neighborhood. You know, we live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's so easy to say, it's not my child, it's not my community, it's not my world, and it's not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond to do something, to make a difference, to make a change, and they are our true heroes. Welcome to Benton, Arkansas, and enjoy your day.
I may be a 64-year-old white man, but I got on my J's. I'm wearing the J's, baby. That's all I bought. I've made that man so much money you would not believe. And he has never once sent me a thank you note. I'm wearing his J's, I wear his boxer shorts, I got his haircut.
President George W. Bush's administration. And there was a point in time when he was very unpopular. He was making tough decisions.
But I'd like somebody to say on that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to give his life serving others. And I want you to be able to say that day. And I did try in my life to feed those who were hungry. I want you to be able to say that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. And I tried to be right on the war questions. And yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for peace. Say that I was a drum major for righteousness. Say that I was a drum major for justice. And dream, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream. Now I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama with its governor's lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, right there little black boys and girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and girls and walk together, sisters and brothers. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. One day, this will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee, I sing. Land where my father died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountain side, let freedom reign. And if we're to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom reign from every village and every hamlet. Let freedom reign from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom reign from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom reign from Stone Mountains of Georgia, from Lookout Mountains of Tennessee, from every mountainside. Let freedom reign. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to reign from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and singing the words of that old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we're free at last. God bless you.
As a consequence of the Second World War, nearly 70 million people died. That is hard to wrap one's head around. I'm a little older, I'm young, still restless. I'm old enough to remember where I was born. I was born in a city over which they threw 500,000 bombs. A city that was 96% destroyed. That was one city in Germany. That same percentage applied to most cities in Germany. I was born in 1941. My first 4 years of life were spent in the basement. I remember the first sighting of the Statue of Liberty, the skyline of New York City, the sweltering heat, the frenetic hustle and bustle of white and black and brown-skinned people, of taking the Greyhound bus through southern cities where they had separate toilets and drinking fountains for whites and blacks, and where a genteel southern lady expressed her love for castles on the Rhine and Apfelstrudel and asked me what I thought about Hitler, and I said I didn't. And I haven't. I remember fulfilling a childhood dreams of being a cowboy when I was in Montana and going to university there, and one day in a lecture in philosophy, being asked in front of the whole class how it was possible that a country that had produced Goethe and Schiller and Beethoven and Schubert could produce Hitler and concentration camps. I was 18 then and couldn't answer. I remember the experience that left an indelible mark in my brain, and heretofore innocent German heart. I was in Los Angeles in a movie theater where I saw a documentary called Mein Kampf. I went to see it because the title promised something about Germany, and I was homesick. It showed scenes of concentration camps, goose-stepping soldiers, of Hitler kissing babies, corpses piled high in makeshift mass graves in concentration camps, of dead German soldiers standing frozen in the wind and snow-swept steppes of Russia. It showed American soldiers liberating walking skeletons from camps. It was then that I lost my heretofore. Bear with me. It was then I had lost my innocence, and no one was there to explain or quiet my deeply felt senses of anger and betrayal and shame. I met Jews who accepted me because I was too young, and Jews who did not accept me because I was German, and Jews who talked nostalgically of their favorite pre-war soccer teams of Frankfurt and Dresden and Hamburg, or reminisced bitterly about the insidious ways of anti-Semitism. I met a German who called me a traitor because I played for a Jewish team, and I remember an Israeli teammate who talked like a racist about blacks and was suspicious of me because I was German. I remember my first agent in Hollywood, a Jew, who was kind-hearted and helpful and gave me my first break in this tough business of acting. I remember Simon Wiesenthal during an interview saying that the actual perpetrators of atrocities numbered about 100,000, and Henry Kissinger saying, under no circumstances is the post-war German generation to be held responsible for Auschwitz. And then the wall came down, and Americans came up to me with genuine feelings in their hearts and congratulated me, and it felt good to be German. And then my non-American friends from Europe and South America patted me on the shoulder and spoke with admiration and respect of the German national soccer team playing the World Cup in Italy and winning it. And then we became world champions, and it was almost all too good to be true. And then came some editorials in the newspapers about the renaissance of German power and a caricature of Helmut Kohl as the new Hitler, and the many scathing remarks made by the cheap English press and character assassinations by Margaret Thatcher and her cabinet, all warning of German power whilst bemoaning the loss of their own. And as a German, I wanted to shout to the world, when will you ever stop talking about those damn 12 years? When will you ever talk about and acknowledge the untold contributions made by German immigrants who toiled for you, America, as carpenters, farmers, mechanics, longshoremen, doctors, nurses, coal miners, machinists, lawyers, surgeons, generals, teachers, scientists? When, I ask? And that question needs to be asked about black people in America. And that is why I see a parallel. And that is why it is important not only to show athletes and rap singers, but to show the black scientists and teachers and nurses and doctors. And people who have worked their fingers to their bones for this country, who have fought in foreign wars for this country. It needs to be fully recognized.
Sitting here waiting for unity, love, peace, and tranquility. But no one here wants the responsibility. Cause freedom is for us all. How can we have liberty when the babies